My friend Roger Swain says you can tell a lot about a man by his compost pile. Now this is my compost pile in my backyard. It's pretty much a lazy man's pile. All it is 4 old pallets nailed together. It's actually coming apart over there in the corner. And I throw everything that used to be alive into this pile. Some old rhubarb that was getting a little too fat to use, burlap, that'll break down, old chunks of clay, old pottery, old weeds. I just throw it all in. And in a year or two, I'm going to have some good usable compost for my lawn. At commercial composting operations like this one in Azusa, California, run by the Monrovia growers, they turn the compost frequently. They get it up to temperatures of 150 degrees, and you can see the steam. It's piping hot, rolling off the pile. The goal, of course, is to come up with finished compost. This black gold smells sweet and has no heat whatsoever. Well, to learn more about the finished compost process, we're going to visit with Todd Harrington of Sustainable Growth Incorporated, a frequent Safe Lawns consultant. Todd, you talk a lot about the importance of using finished compost. Can you explain what that means and how we get to finished compost?
Well, finished compost is basically a compost that has biodegraded or decomposed to the point where we can put it on a plant and the plant will respond well to it. Versus when it's not finished, it sometimes can harm the plant. What's really important also is the temperature. You have to maintain the temperature, and as you can see, we have a thermostat.
You have a little probe here.
Right.
Now this looks like something that you stick into your turkey.
Yep.
And sticks right back in there.
Exactly.
And what are you going for temperature-wise?
We look basically for 131 degrees. There's certain guidelines that certain organizations require before it gets turned, because of certain things that happen during the composting process or decomposing process, such as eliminating weed seeds, any possible pathogens. So it's really important that we maintain the temperature, and when it reaches the proper temperature, then we turn the pile.
Okay. Now, after it's got to 130, 132 degrees, you want to leave it there for a week or two? Let it stay at that temperature for a while?
Right, because that's the kind of the magic number for the biology to start breaking down organic material. If it doesn't reach that temperature, then it's not decomposing properly, and you're not eliminating the weed seeds and pathogens.
I've had compost at my house that arrives and it's steaming hot, hot to the touch. Probably shouldn't use that right away.
No, actually those are the microorganisms feeding on all the carbon, and when they feed on, or they're feeding on the carbon, they release energy, which is in the form of heat, and that's what you're seeing.
Okay. Compost that smells really bad, like ammonia or very pungent, also shouldn't use that.
Right, because it's still going through the process of decomposing. That's just a normal process of the microorganisms releasing the energy in the form of either ammonium or sulfur. Sometimes it might smell like rotten eggs. That's just a good indication that it's working, it's doing its job.
But when you finish the finished stuff should really, I mean, this isn't quite finished, but it smells pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's getting there. It should smell very earthy. Those are such organisms, the actinomyces, and there's certain good bugs in the soil that give that sweet smell. It's like when you go into a forest, and you dig around and it smells really sweet. Well, that's what we're looking for. Mother Nature's already designed this unique, excellent, magical source for us, and we just are starting to understand it.
Even though, as Todd said, we're just starting to understand how compost works, we certainly know it works. Just look.